Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Angela Vorpal at angelavorpal.com. And in a recent video, we talked about what makes a good big law associate. And those pieces are particularly important for years 1, 2, and 3 at a new law firm. But I thought today it would be fun to talk about what makes a bad big law associate, particularly because what makes a bad big law associate is actually what makes a good law firm partner, or closer in time, a good senior associate. Because as soon as you get those basic skills down, the law firm's going to flip the script on you and expect you to layer in these higher level skills, because what got you here is not going to be the same thing that gets you here. So if you're interested in what it takes to be a badass new lawyer, then smash that subscribe button and let's dive in. The first thing that makes for a bad junior associate but a good senior associate is the ability to see the bigger picture. Because for most people who see things at a high level, they generally are not very good with the details. And so being a junior associate where your entire work is the details is really, really tough on them. But as you become a more senior associate, you want to develop this idea of a bigger picture of the case or deal you're working on, which can be really tough in those first few years because you're so focused in on the literal task and the literal project that you're working on. And they're also being assigned to you in these vacuums where it's not really being communicated to you how this case research is being used or how this due diligence is going to develop or what these documents are for. And so as you move through the ranks, we really want to get a sense for how does this case or deal play in a larger picture. And so one of my favorite things to do that I finally developed later on was just to Google the case or the deal, because if it's among parties that are big enough, it might get some regional or national attention. And these news articles tend to give you a really nice overview of who these companies are, what they do, and why they are in litigation or in a transaction together. Another thing that you can consider is to ask a senior associate or young partner on your team, what is a good outcome for the client in this particular matter? Is it that the client wants a particular amount of money, that they want to protect an asset, that they want to get rid of a legal problem, that they want to protect or develop a reputation? So it's really helpful to know, what does good look like for this particular client? Because that allows you to be more creative, more resourceful, and more strategic as you are developing your role as a lawyer with respect to this client relationship. The second thing that makes a bad junior associate but a good senior associate is delegating work. Because when you are a junior associate, the fastest way to make enemies is to try to delegate your work to other associates, because in the big law firm structure, it's very hierarchical, which means the most basic tasks and projects are going to be done by the junior associates. And so I have seen junior associates try to pass that work off to someone else, or worse yet, try to delegate up by telling a partner, I am not familiar with this matter, or how would you go about doing this, in a way that is trying to bypass the steps of the work itself. So when you are a junior associate, you never want to act too good for any project or task. Now, when you are a senior associate, you need to develop the skill of being able to delegate, because now you're going to be in a position of actually running deals or running cases in addition to the substantive legal work. And so it does take time to get good at not only delegating work to associates beneath you, but also being able to explain the projects and explain what you want out of them in a way that will get you the work product that you're looking for. The third thing is developing client relationships. And this is usually something that we're not even aware of as new associates that we're supposed to eventually be doing, because it's not really talked about that much. But as I mentioned in this video about making partner, having those client relationships is the number one factor in determining who eventually makes partner. So as a junior associate, it's not quote unquote bad to develop client relationships. It's just that your focus is going to be on the substantive legal work that helps keep the cases and deals actually moving. And so it's not going to be looked kindly upon if any client development activities are taking time away from your billable hours. As opposed to when you become a senior associate, you're definitely going to have to carve out time for those pieces, things like going to bar association events or developing CLEs or creating LinkedIn content or making cold reach outs and networking events, things like that. And so just keep in the back of your mind that yes, that is not something that's expected of you as a junior associate, but that is definitely something you're going to want to begin to layer in as you move up through the associate ranks. So there you have it, the 3 things that make for a bad junior associate, but a good senior associate. So you guys can keep that in the back of your mind as you're making your way through the ranks of a law firm. And if you're curious about what type of law might be the best fit for you, definitely check out the What Type of Lawyer Should I Be quiz. It will give you an insight into what type of practice area might be the best fit for you. And if you're curious about more big law content, then definitely check out these 2 videos over here. And with that, guys, I will see you in the next video.